Lopez starting today. He's been really consistent for you over the last 2 months. Just what do you think of the job he's done?
I think Jacob's done a nice job since he's been back from AAA. I think the time that he spent down there was well spent for him, getting a routine that was consistent. He struggled with that this offseason a little bit. Didn't feel that he had a great offseason in kind of developing what he wanted to do. There were some things that he changed and mixed up, and I think that impacted kind of the start of his year. So it was a kind of a great reset for him, and like you said, since he's been back, he's done a really nice job, very similar to the job he did at the end of the season for us in the rotation.
And then tomorrow's starter is still TBD at this point?
It is, yeah. We're going to see how we get through tonight. Obviously Perkins is kind of the guy that's been in that spot. Last time out we opened with Basso for him and ran Basso a few innings. So there's options going into tomorrow that I'll discuss after the game tonight.
And I wanted to ask you about the situation yesterday in the fifth with Yordan out, run on first. Was there any thought of walking Yordan in that situation?
In the seventh?
In the fifth.
In the fifth, yes. Okay, so man on first, no thought of walking Yordan. I think, our starter again hadn't given up a hard contact. I know Yordan is special. I mean, we saw it. He hit a ball in the right-handed batter's box off of the Crawford box out there that we were trying to actually intentionally walk him, per se. So in the fifth with a guy on first base to intentionally walk him there, I had faith in JT keeping the ball down and in the ballpark. He did. Obviously, Yordan hit at 105 and split the gap between both outfielders. So, from that standpoint, I wouldn't change the decision to intentionally walk Yordan and put Nick at second base.
What about the seventh inning?
Seventh inning, I thought, down 3 with him up with Paredes behind him. Paredes is pretty good against the left. Put an extra base runner on. If Paredes pops it, now we're down 3 runs, so more. With the left on left, and it doesn't matter if it's left, right. The guy could throw underhand probably to Yordan and not get him out. But, Yordan obviously the last few, it's knock on wood, but, I think last 5 he was 185 and, 212, somewhere in there, last 10. So hasn't been swinging the bat great, but again, he beat us. And, but at the end of the day, we executed a good pitch that was, like I said, outside the chalk line almost. Maybe we bounced it on the plate and get him to chase that way.
Is there an element of you wanting to evaluate any of your guys too?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for Rom, it's a big spot for him, left on left against the best, to see if he can get work through that situation. But not wanting to, obviously. Lose a game to evaluate it.
Okay.
We're down 3 in the 7th inning. The bullpen down there is pretty difficult with Abreu, Hader. So letting him go through that moment, I don't regret that decision.
Yeah.
What do you think of the season Yordan's having overall, and how difficult is it to have to face him as much as you guys do?
Yeah, I was really enjoying last year with him not in the lineup consistently. It's a game changer. He's obviously one of the best players in the game, if not the best right now, and it's difficult to navigate, like we talk about. And the season he's having is no surprise. I think he's going to continue to have these types of seasons, and he's a special player.
Not just specifically Yordan, but the very best in the league. What is it like in that manager's chair, kind of weigh when you attack a guy, when you kind of back up a little bit, and how are the wheels turning for you through the course of the game when you're dealing with situations with the very best critical points of the game?
Well, you're just trying to make the best decision that you feel is possible for the players that are in those situations to have success. For the team's success, you're trying to, obviously, make decisions that align with the best outcome, and they don't always align. You get praise in this seat when they do. People think you're great, and you get the negative hate when they don't work out. So there's really no win-win situation, because the players have to go perform, and the decisions don't always align with that performance. But at the end of the day, when you have your information and you prepare yourself for those decisions, I think you have to stand by them.